All right, I think we can actually go ahead and get started.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for joining. We are so glad to meet with you guys, although we wish it was in person. But we were just so excited that the kids are back in school and we're getting somewhat of a normal year. We've loved getting to know them this year so far and had a great start. So we're excited to see how this year is going to go. Michelle, you want to hit the next slide here? Just a few meeting norms. Try to stay muted just to avoid random noises throughout, but we're going to answer any questions you guys have at the end. If you have any immediate concerns or questions, just use that chat box and somebody will respond to you. We got the 8th grade team. I'm Mr. Bolte. This is my first year. I'm the first year here. I'm the new social studies teacher. We have Mr. Johnson, teaches science, Ms. Shelton, ELA, Mr. Smirt, special education, Mr. Caldwell, doing RTI instruction, Mr. Tufan, who will be representing all the 8th grade specials today, and Mrs. Sarancic, who is the assistant principal. And then of course, Ms. Durst, who teaches math, and I will pass it over to her right now.
Well, hello, everyone. So we're just going to kind of introduce ourselves quickly and go through some of our specific expectations, and then we'll go through our general overall expectations, what you can expect from us and what we could hope to expect from you at the end. So for those who do not know me, I'm the 8th grade math teacher and the math department lead. This is my 8th year at HSA Belmont. Very proud of that. I've taught grades 5 through 8 while at Belmont. I was born and raised in the city of Chicago, a product of CPS schools, and I have a 24-year-old son. I believe the key to success in the classroom is communication. So I put that on here. I really think that's important. To quote one of our graduates from last year, I thought this was just a lovely quote. No communication can lead to a lot of miscommunication. So I bring that up because I feel it's really important that we as teachers, parents, and the students communicate with us. We can help them through anything. I know this year this is different. Some of them haven't been in school for a year and a half, haven't been in the building, I should say. So as long as they communicate with us, tell us what's going on, ask for help when they need it, we've got their backs, and I'll do anything I can to help them out. As far as contacting me, my email and Class Dojo, super, super easy to communicate through Class Dojo. I know all of 8B is connected. So congratulations to any 8B parents out there. And I think the other classes are pretty close. So that's the best way to reach us. Quickly, my grading policy, this was also in the syllabus that I believe most of you should have received. Classwork is 35%, assessments 40%. So those are big chunks of the grade. So this will lead into my expectations of the students, but it's really important that when the kids are in school, they're on task and so on, because as you can see, that accounts, what they do in the class accounts for most of their grade. Also homework is 10% and participation is 15%. I also noted on here, late work is subject to loss of credit. It depends on the situation, and we will talk about that a little bit later as far as our overall middle school policy. Ms. Shelton, would you? So my expectations of the students, I assign homework daily. This is math class and we need the practice. So I expect that they're going to complete that homework daily. We should begin work immediately upon entering the class. Bring all supplies to class every day. So I have a small list on the side here. This was also in the syllabus, and we have worked together on putting together our class binders for math and for overall middle school. All of our notebooks, our pencil cases, everything that we need, we put together. If kids were missing something, I tried to supply it. So we should be good to go at this point. Let's see, expectations. Also, stay on task during the entire class period. I know this can be rough. We all try to give brain breaks and so on, but we need the students to stay with us while they're in class with us. Students should participate via work and through discussion. We learn a lot from other students in the class. Asking for help is absolutely key. I'm here to help. We have other assistants that are here to help, all the teachers. But we have to encourage them to speak up. Sometimes I just don't know, and silence is going to make me think that we understand. Of course, respecting others and the environment, meaning the classroom, the school. And finally, really key is using all of our resources. So we really need to own our learning. The students need to own their learning. So I can give them I could try to present the knowledge in as many ways as I can, but they have to take that. So I tell them, if we're taking notes in class, we have notes, really good notes in our curriculum, which is Eureka, like homework helpers, but they also need to use their friends, which a few of them have already been doing that, and the internet, looking things up. I mean, they're more savvy with using the internet than I am. And I keep telling them if they find good videos on something, to share them with the class. So we're really focusing on not just, I don't get it, but what don't you get and what can we do to help you to get it, right? And what resources do we have? And finally, for math class, so we're going back to paper. However, I am still posting our homework assignments on Google Classroom. If we do have any situations where students are out for an extended period of time, I'll make sure I put class assignments and so on up there. But students should at this point be connected to Google Classroom. All homework, again, will be posted just in case. If they forget something at school, it'll be posted. They can just go on, make a copy. And finally, the school has purchased agendas or planners for the students. So some students received them already. Mine will receive them tomorrow. Mine being my homeroom, 8B, will receive them tomorrow. Us teachers are going to encourage them and try to support them into using these planners daily. So please, as parents, ask to see those planners, because you should be able to see the homework in there and any long-term assignments and so on. And that's all I have for now. And who do we, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, science.
Hey, everybody.
Mr. Johnson.
Well, first, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Durst about her presentation? Ms. Shelton, do you see any hands in the participation tab?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, I don't believe I know many of you, so just a quick about me. My name is Ben Johnson. I've been teaching for 10 years, and this is my 5th year at Belmont. Graduated Loyola, actually just got my master's a few weeks ago. And the roles I play at Belmont are obviously 8th grade science, but also the science chair. So I run or sort of organize the science fairs throughout the year, be it at the Illinois Junior Academy of Sciences or the science fairs that we put together for CONCEF and some other things at the school. Our curriculum in science, as you can see on the right-hand side there, is STEM Scopes. It's a really good curriculum, in my opinion. It has a lot of engaging material, simulations, hands-on work, but also really good readings, and sort of hook the kids in using this 5E model. You could see it starts with that hook, engage, and then we explore. We do a lot of exploring. As your kids will probably tell you when they get home. Almost every day we have a lab. So that's really fun in my classroom. And then, of course, we explain, we do have extensions and evaluations for the assessment. A lot of my work is problem-based learning. So you might, see kids come home with extended projects that they're working on. And feel free to reach out anytime and ask me about those as well. We do use Google Classroom. I think all the teachers this year are required to do the Google Classroom just in case. And we're also going to be putting some information on Google Sites, including word walls, extra resources, materials, videos, etc. Be on the lookout for that Google Site URL. I'll send it via email or Dojo. I think I'm going to remake parts of it because this year parts of it are not applicable. Move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so I just quickly wanted to talk about my grading policy because it's different than some of the other teachers. You could see a lot of the work is classwork and projects. So that's 45% of their grade. So it's important to realize that your student is going to be getting the majority, well, a lot of their grade from just participating in class, doing the work. I don't give too much homework. That's why you don't see it on the policy there. If they do have homework, it's because they likely didn't finish the in-class work, okay? For my point system, I'll try to be quick here. If your child turns in the assignment completely wrong, they still receive an automatic 50%. And then the points go up from there. You could see the targets. So if they met less than half of the target, they get additional 10 points. Half of the target, they get 25 extra points. So in other words, what would otherwise be a 50% failing grade is now a 75%. Okay. And that's different. I understand, but the reason is because we're trying to be more equitable for standards-based grading. Okay, so we're trying to get towards a standard-based. Does the student know the standard, or do they not know the standard? If they met the standard fully, it's 50 additional points, which is 100%. And if they exceed the standard, they will be receiving extra credit. So that's confusing, but it is on the syllabus, and just review it again. And if you have concerns, please email me at bjohnson, HSA Belmont. And that's all I have. So does anybody have any questions for me, my grading policy? Okay.
All righty then. Then we're down to me. So hi everyone. I would just like to take the time to thank you guys again for meeting with us. I'm Ms. Shelton, the 8th grade English Language Arts teacher. A little bit about me. I was born and raised here in Chicago. I attended Prosser Career Academy High School, so I'm very familiar with the area. Grew up in the area. I went to Western Illinois University where I earned my degree. This is my 3rd year teaching at HSA Belmont. So 3rd year teaching 8th grade English Language Arts. There pictured in the black dress is my 3-year-old daughter, Malia. Very family oriented, so I love spending time with my family and I enjoy traveling. A couple of hobbies of mine, enjoy cooking and reading, of course. And then my goal for this year, kind of the same as every year, is to just create a positive classroom environment where students can feel safe and supported. And then aside from that, it's just helping the students, grow more stronger and more confident as a reader and a writer, and just getting them prepared for high school as much as possible. When it comes to the curriculum this year, we have adapted a new curriculum. The kids are somewhat familiar with it. They'll be more familiar with it as we get through the year. But essentially what is different from the curriculum in the past is that it's essentially just novel study. So we'll have 4 modules we'll be focusing on this year, and we'll have a novel that's pretty much aligned with the module. So as stated before, we will be using Google Classroom as well in ELA. So assignments will be done in class and online. All the assessments that the students take will be online as well. At this point, every student has checked out an independent reading book from our classroom library. So they will be required to complete a book talk each quarter. So there will be 4 book talks total. And they should be bringing their independent reading books home every night to read. And they should be bringing them to class every day because we will have silent reading. Other than that, the Google Classroom codes are there. And a little bit about the grade weight in ELA. Bell work is worth 15%, classwork 35%, assessments are worth 25%, participation 15%, and then homework at 10%. So the books the novels pictured there are the books that we will be reading as a class. And these books are, the students are not required to buy them. However, I did, let them know that if they were to purchase one of the books, that I will be giving out extra credit for that. However, there are 4 modules, as I stated. So the first module will be reading the crossover, where we'll focus a lot on the poetics and the power of storytelling. The second module will be reading All Quiet on the Western Front, where we'll focus a lot on World War I. Third module, we'll be reading A Midsummer Night's Dream. So our focus will be on love. And then our last module is, we'll be talking about teens as change agents. So we'll be reading Claudette Colvin, Twice Towards Justice. And I'm gonna go back a slide because you guys can reach me by email and Dojo. So my email is shelton@hsabelmont.org. Other than that, all of the other information as far as ELA is definitely in the syllabus. I hope majority of you guys, if not all, have received the syllabus by now. But if you haven't, if you have any questions about the class or any concerns specifically regarding your child, just feel free to reach out to me. So that's all I have for ELA. So I'm gonna hand it over to Mr. Tufan.
All right, can you hear me, guys? All right, sorry about that. Before the meeting, 1 or 2 minutes ago, my internet is gone. I think they're fixing something around the area. That's why I'm late, sorry about that. I'm Mr. Tufan. I'm PNTW technology teacher. I'm gonna talk about a little bit about my background, and then I'm gonna talk about what we are gonna do this year with my 8th graders. So this is my 9th year teaching, and this is my 3rd year in the HSA Belmont. And I have 2 master degrees. The first one is in educational technology, and the second one is master degree in profession studies, cybersecurity. And I'm married, and I have 3-year-old daughter. And basically, I love outdoor activities, also like some technology stuff I love. And my grading policy is right over here. Participation is 20%, classwork and assignment 30%, project is 30%, and quizzes are 20%. So I don't have any policy for the homework. I'm not assigning the homework, but my students can reach the resources at home. They can fix their, they can complete their kind of missing classwork or something else like the same day we assigned. And I want to share my screen about the thing there. We will go through this year, not too much. I will just show what we're going to do. First, we start with Python. My students learning right now Python programming languages. We are using the Tinker website, and then it's going to take, I think, 1.5 months. After that, we are going to start Coder-Z, and they are going to learn again Python, but this time they are going to learn how to use this Python programming languages on robots. After that, we are going to attend the competition with all students in my class. We are not going to report any place physically. It's going to be in the class. We are going to do some task in front of the computer. Then that's kind of thing we will do. If you are going to have available time, we will also use EarSketch, which is creating music by using Python programming languages. Last year I was using Mr. Earth's class with 8th graders. We were doing that. We were working on that curriculum. It's going to be same for this year. And as you see, my expectations right over here, like mainly same thing with other teachers. I want my students participate in my class, be on time, and then be respectful to your friends during the instruction time. Kind of. Also, I have Google Classroom. All students are joined, and this is my classroom code, and this is my email right over here. You can reach me via email. Also, you can reach me via Class Dojo. So that's the thing. I'm done about that. So also, I need to continue about the other teachers as a special teacher. Could you please go to the next slide? So another computer science and coding teacher is Mr. Ben. He's teaching 6th through 8th graders. Also, he's using Tinker and Go Coders. And he's teaching also same stuff basically, but except JavaScript. So I think 8th graders are learning Python with Mr. Ben. Also 6th graders learning robotics right now, and 7th graders learn JavaScript. And art and music teacher Miss Choi, and 6th through 8th graders, she sees the students 4 times each week, and those are the concept they teach, explore various artistic styles like mediums and techniques. And that's the 4 Miss and Richie, and she sees the middle school teachers again 4 times each week, and they are learning how to compose music and play rhythms and read. They learn how to read sheet music and get ready for band for the 2nd semester. Again, you can reach these teachers via ClassDojo, via also email. And this is sorry. The next one is Spanish, Miss Troxel. Am I pronouncing correct that name? Miss, could you please pronounce this name, guys? Sorry, as I know it's Miss
Oh, yeah, you got
Troxel.
it. Miss Trox.
Okay, and she's a Spanish teacher, and she's each class 2 times each week, and focusing on 3 main area: grammar, vocabulary, and culture. But teaching about different cultures is by far my favorite of teaching Spanish. She put that note over here. Also, you can reach her via email and ClassDojo, and that's her email address. And PE teacher is, as you know, Coach Tate, and that's the note he put here: to become physical fit and little individuals, to exercise and be physically active on daily basis, and to learn the importance of healthy living and eating, and to develop teamwork and leadership skills. And there is nothing about grading policy that I can talk about other teachers. That's the only thing I can share about our middle school special teachers. Right, that's it.
All right,
There you
I
go.
guess I'm next. Thanks, Mr. Tufan. All right, I'm Mr. Smertz. A bunch of you may already know who I am because I may have taught your child in 6th grade as a social studies teacher. This year, I'm making my transition into full-time special education. This is my 5th year at HSA Belmont. I taught this group 2 years ago, and I said, hey, I'd be really excited to have them as 8th graders again. I'm glad to have them back. For those of you that don't know too, a little fun fact about myself: I love sports. I do my best to remain active. I bike to school most days, and I'm in graduate school right now. I'm actually currently late to graduate school, so I'm going to wrap up as quickly as I possibly can. My email is down there. It's smrt at HSA Belmont, SMRT at hsabelmont.org. You can reach me on Google Classroom, ClassDojo, and through the school phone as well if you have any questions. All right, next slide. Thanks. So just a little overview of what I do. I'm a co-teacher. So basically I push into all of the core classes with the 8B group. So if your child is in 8B, they get a heavy dose of Mr. Smirt throughout the day. I am there to, even if your child does not have documented needs, accommodations, and modifications in an IEP document, I am still there to support them as well. So, if your child says something about, oh, I'm not getting the help that I need, and they're in 8B, they've got 2 teachers in the room. So, but I'm responsible specifically for providing accommodations and modifications for students that do have documented needs. So if your child has an IEP, I am your go-to guy this year. So please be reaching out to me. I've already reached out to you via email and ClassDojo. So open lines of communication, as Mr. said earlier, are extremely, extremely important this year. And all of that communication is key. In addition to that, if your child has had an IEP in the past or has an IEP now, you may or may not be familiar with the progress monitoring sheets that come with every report card. I am also responsible for those. Your child's minutes and goals will be met through the enrichment period at the beginning of the school day, which goes from, that enrichment period is from 8:10 to 8:37. So it's really, really important for kids to be on time to school, especially if they're working very closely with me. So please keep that in mind. That's really all I've got.
Hi, my name is Mr. Caldwell or Walter Caldwell. I'm the math RTI instructor. So what RTI is routine to intervention. So it's just helping out with certain skills that the students might need in math, or just that extra help or to help with their learning styles, whatever the case might be. And this is my first year at HSA and actually teaching. I just graduated from the University of Illinois. I grew up in the Belmont-Cragen area and in Humboldt Park. I went to grammar school right next to Hanson Academy right there. The only thing I expect out of the students is to show up every day, bring a notebook or something to write on at least. Thank you. Bring a notebook, a pen, something to write on every day, because I do like give them set like guidelines for certain skills, and I know it helps them when they're in my class to get the work done. And like they often like forget it when they go to other classes, which it's like meant to help you in your other like core math class. So that's like something that's big. A folder dedicated to RTI just to put those notes in there, because like we like to rip them out and just work on a notebook, which is fine, and just pencils. You can always contact me via email or Class Dojo, whichever is easier for you. But yep, that's everything about me. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm Mr. Bolte. I am the new social studies teacher. This is my first year at HSA Belmont. It's actually my first year in Chicago. I moved from Rockton, Illinois, which is right by Rockford, if you know where that's at. I'm a graduate from Carthage College. It is my third year as a full-time teacher. However, so just a little bit about me. I live and breathe and die sports. I played in college. In my free time, I play softball and basketball. And then I also coached the last few years. I coached high school football and high school track, and I'm planning on coaching here at HSA. So to be determined there. And I put on there, I'm just a huge Marvel and Star Wars nerd. Next slide, please. All right, so about social studies, about the class. So just some grading policy. Classwork's going to be 45%. Tests will be 20, projects will be 20, and participation is 15. Homework is going to be included into classwork. So basically any assignment we do in class, homework, that all lumps into that category. However, like Mr. Johnson, probably won't be too much homework if the kids use their time wisely in class. There'll always be class time to work on the assignment, but if they need extra time, that's when they'll bring it home and it'll be homework. We'll have tests and projects about each unit. So each unit will last around a month. So there'll be about one project, group project, and then one test per unit. So you can expect about once a month a test in my class. Some of the topics that we'll go over is the Civil War, reviewing it and its effects, Reconstruction, the Jim Crow era, industrialization and unions, immigration and urbanization, American imperialism, World War I, Great Migration, Roaring '20s, Great Depression, New Deal, World War II, Cold War, and then we will probably end with the Civil Rights era and political activism. And so basically this is from Civil War up to almost present, current. If we can, we'll try to get even past the civil rights. But basically, my class is going to be all about teaching history and teaching history through the eyes of all the different backgrounds and cultures that make up this country. Because if you aren't doing that, then you're leaving a big key piece out of the story that makes America. So just some expectations for the students. It's just being respectful to everyone at all times. Them asking questions, they not understand something, coming to class prepared, not plagiarizing, and maintaining good attendance. And we hope that we just have a very good discussion. History is a really good class for discussions, and a lot of these topics would be great for that. So that's another expectation, is that students are willing to express their opinion and try to come to conclusions themselves as well, and share those opinions. Next slide, please. Thank you. Just if you need to get a hold of me, the Google Classroom codes are right there for each 8A, 8B, 8C. You can also get a hold of me on Class Dojo. I do not have my own Class Dojo, but you can contact me through your homeroom teacher's Class Dojo account. My email is right there below, both via hsabelmont.org. And if this is for my syllabus, I have the link right there below. Also, there's an online copy in your child's in our Google Classroom, and they also have a paper copy in their social studies folder. So that's a little bit about me. There's also, we have some policies that are for 8th grade as a whole in general. So about late work. So in order to turn in any late work, students are going to need to complete an LAC, which is just a late assignment contract. And that's with the teacher. So if a student, even if a student is absent, or if they just forget to do an assignment, they need to come to the teacher, because it is their responsibility to come and work this out. So we will have a piece, basically a little short piece of paper. They'll explain like why it was late and what they can do to improve so that it won't be late next time. We'll set a new due date, and then they need to have it in by that due date that's negotiated, or it'll be a 10% deduction for each day it is late. As far as absence goes, students who do not have their homework due to absence will be allowed to submit the work the next day. So if they missed a day, they aren't responsible for the assignment that was given that day. But it is the student's responsibility to come retrieve and submit the classwork and find a new due date for when they should have that assignment completed. And then Class Dojo, we all kind of talked about it, but that's probably the best way to communicate with us. If you join your homeroom teacher's Google Classroom, you should have access to be able to speak to any of us directly. We have a list created a list of expectations as well, what you can expect from us, and then just what we kind of have some expectations for you guys. What you can expect from us is you can expect us to show respect to each child and to you guys, provide a safe and comfortable environment where it's conducive to learning, help each child grow to their full potential, provide assistance to you guys to help with any assignments, so you can help them at home with anything if needed, enforce school and classroom rules fairly and consistent, supply students and parents with clear evaluations so they know what they will be graded on, use special activities to make learning fun, because school should be fun. And yeah, what we can expect from you guys. Same thing with the students, same thing with us. We just hope that you guys show respect for us, your child, provide an environment for study and supervision at home so they have a good environment for that. Attend parent-teacher conferences and other meetings. Talk with your child about their day, how it went, activities they did in school, what they learned about. Monitoring their academic progress and encouraging them to keep doing well and to keep them engaged in learning. And then make sure they bring all their supplies to school every day, including a fully charged Chromebook, something we've been noticing first couple weeks of school is a lot of kids are forgetting to charge their Chromebook. So if you could just remind them to make sure that they plug in and charge up so they can bring it to school the next day, that'd be awesome. Does anyone have any questions for me or just 8th grade in general before I kick it off to Mrs. Sarancic? All right.
All right, guys. So as a bridge, one thing that I do want to mention is that in order for us to really make this year as successful as possible, it's so incredibly important that we work together as a team. Communication is so incredibly important, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on my next slide. So if we can move forward. Most of you guys know me, but we do have some new faces. So I just wanted to take the time to introduce myself as well. So this is my 6th year as an assistant principal here at HSA Belmont. I also tag team with Mr. Connell for middle school. We're like the mom and dad up on the 3rd floor. I moved to Chicago in 2016. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I did start off as a science teacher for grades 4 through pretty much 12. I got my master's in educational leadership back in 2015, and because I love school so much and I can't get enough of it, I'm currently enrolled in a PhD program to get my ed leadership superintendent license. So that's a little bit about me, and I want to shout out Mr. Johnson. He's the one who took most of these pictures that you guys are going to see some flashbacks, so we can go ahead and move forward. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about some high school updates. This year, things are going to be a little bit different with the enrollment process simply because their testing has changed. So if you've had a sibling in the past before, you know that your child had to take the NWEA test in order to enroll in a CPS high school. This year, they're not doing NWA. They're actually doing only one test, and that test is called the Selective Enrollment Exam. The sign-up dates have not yet been released, but we know for sure that non-CPS charter schools are going to be taking their tests on a weekend. So you need to sign up for weekend dates. So again, I will let you guys know once I get more information about that. I have a hyperlink here of a webinar that CPS conducted back in June about this test, specifically about this test. So if you want to know a little bit more about the test, I put that there for you. So what should you do now? Number one thing is look for schools. Familiarize yourself with the schools, the high schools that are out there. So I put the link, you should look for level 1+ schools. And some of you guys are probably thinking, how am I supposed to search? What is a level 1+ school? Don't worry, I got you. Go ahead and go next, Ms. Shelton. Excuse me. So the second bullet, back in June, I created a webinar, not a webinar, informational video. It's about 13 minutes, showing you how to actually search for schools and really doing a big dissection about the high school application process. So I'm not going to waste time here. If you do want to know more about it, please just watch that webinar and so that you can familiarize yourself with it, okay? So familiarize yourself with the schools. Definitely subscribe to the 22-23 school year so that you can get all the emails that CPS has. So all you have to do is go on www.go.cps.edu, scroll all the way down. You're going to see this purple bar. Go ahead and fill out that information so that you can be up to date with all the deadlines and whatnot. I cannot stress how important it is that you stay up to par with communication. So like all the teachers said, Class Dojo, if you're not connected on Class Dojo, please do so. If you need help with how to connect on Class Dojo, feel free to email me. My email is right there on the bottom. Deadlines are also incredibly crucial when it comes to the application process. Every single year, I have parents that are struggling to get their child in a high school because they missed the deadlines. I cannot help you if you don't put in the work yourself. I cannot put in the application process for you, but I am here 110% to help you. So I need you to reach out to me if you do need the help, okay? Ms. Shelton, if we can go next. All right, so here's a quick application timeline of the application events. So from now to October, that's when you're gonna take the test, and that's when the application process starts. Then from October to December, that's when you actually apply to your high schools. March of next year is when the results come in, and then April to June is where you confirm your results and you apply to round 2 if you're not satisfied with your round 1 results. And a lot of this seems very foreign to you, but like I said, I am very keen to update all parents and guardians on Class Dojo. So please just be up to date with that, and through email. Everything that I send on Class Dojo, I always send to email as well, okay? We can go next. All right, so other important things that I wanna kind of put on your radar. We already have our picture day dates set up. So the first 2 are for regular picture day. So we have regular picture day, and then we have retakes for the regular picture day. Most of our 8th graders don't participate in the regular picture day simply because they want the graduation picture. So to each its own, right? So graduation picture day is going to take place next calendar year in January, okay? And then retakes are going to be March 9th, okay? So you can go ahead and put that on your radar. I like to upfront just tell you guys what the graduation fees are. It really depends. So every year, prior to last year and the year before, we always had a trip, an 8th grade trip, where we went on a cruise from Navy Pier, where there was lunch served, there was dancing, this, that. But again, it all depends on the COVID situation this year. So there's 2 scenarios. If there is an 8th grade trip, the total graduation fee is going to be $100, and that consists of the trip, the yearbook, the graduation gown, as well as some miscellaneous fees to cover for the actual graduation setup. If due to COVID, we don't have the trip, then it's going to be bumped down to $50, okay, which is everything except the trip. All right, and the fees are going to be due Friday, March 4th, and they are non-refundable, okay? So what I mean by that is if you pay it, we're not going to be able to return it simply because we've already ordered the gowns and we've already put deposits. Now, there is a possibility that some students will not participate in graduation. Every year we have X amount of students that don't participate in graduation because of either their discipline is not up to par or academics, they have failing grades, okay? So I wanna just be very transparent with everyone from now, just so they have it in their head that just because we're in 8th grade doesn't mean that we're gonna actually walk across that stage. That's our goal, right? But if we're not up to par with discipline, right? We're getting ready for high school. We're getting ready for the real world. So we know that our actions have consequences to them. So the whole thing here is we want to make sure that our students are ready to move on from 8th grade, both academically, socially, behaviorally, okay? So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. We can move to the next slide. All right, some other important updates. Starting Monday, we're going to start cracking down on the uniform. So I know a lot of us do not have the uniforms yet because it is back ordered. Totally okay. We ask that the shirts are either basic color or just a regular plain t-shirt. A regular shirt, which is the solid color. We prefer red or blue, or a polo shirt. And the bottoms are khaki pants, shorts, and joggers during PE days, okay? No jeans, no sweatpants, no hoodies, no jackets, all right? So hoodies, if we see hoodies, we will take them away and give it to the child at the end of the day. We want everyone to look neat, organized. Also, we've been noticing students having phones, earbuds, or AirPods, smartwatch. When they come into the building, those things should be off. It should be in their book bags. It should be in their lockers. If we see it, the first offense is we take it and we return it to the student at the end of the day. The second offense is we take it, we call you, and you have to come pick it up. And the third offense is it's taken and returned at the end of the school year. And this has always been our policy from the get-go. So yeah, go ahead. Next question. Next slide. So, which leads me to lockers. All students have lockers. It's really important to have a lock. The reason for that is people go into the lockers. I've had cases where things were stolen out of lockers. So to prevent that, just get a lock and put all your items on the locker. Water bottles. So I put a picture of our water fountain on the 3rd floor. We don't want students to actually drink from the water fountain. That's why we allow water bottles, and we have that device there for anyone to refill their water bottle, simply because due to COVID, we don't want anyone using the water fountain. So just a heads up, if your child doesn't have a water bottle, please have them bring a water bottle, just so that they don't use the fountain. And like Mr. Bolte said, fully charged Chromebook is mandatory. Everyone got Chromebooks. If you did not get a Chromebook, I ask that the child come see me during homeroom tomorrow or sometime early next week. Most students got it, but if there is some issue, whether it's a charger, whether it's the Chromebook's not working, have your child come to me during homeroom. They know where my office is, and we'll definitely get that sorted out. And the expectation is that they come to school with a fully charged Chromebook, because teachers are using it, using the Chromebook for their work that they do from different classes. And I think that's a wrap. Yeah, that's a wrap. So what I did here, I also put all of our email addresses just to kind of wrap it up. And that's it from me. So I don't know who's gonna wrap this up.
That's pretty much all we have in general, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. A few of us might even stay here for another minute or two and just double check, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If not, we are ecstatic to start this year and, let's say, work with you guys and work with the kids to make this just an awesome year.
Yeah, I see a question in the chat. Are you all going to send out updates as well, or should we solely? I will definitely send out updates. I send out updates frequently. Whenever I get an update, I share it with all the parents. So, if you want to just rely on the updates coming from school, that's totally fine.
Thanks, everybody. It's going to be a great year. We're all excited. Despite the times, we're still having fun in school. So let's have a great time. See you guys later.
Yeah,
All right,
great to
guys.
have everybody back.
Take it easy. Be safe,
Good
y'all.
day. Bye-bye.